It's a new year. It's new us. Other stereotypes like that. We're both drinking coffee, per usual.
That's not new. But these games are coming out. They're pretty new.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nick.
I'm Mike.
We are the Brothers Murph, and yeah, we're going to be doing a channel update, which we did last year, and then we're going to be doing our top 10 most anticipated games of the year.
Listen, 2023 games are over.
They're
Those
trash.
games are crap.
They're
It's
trash.
only about the new games that haven't, the best games are games that haven't even released, okay? Frankly,
Boom.
any game that once it releases, gross.
We
I
all
only
know
want
that.
the anticipated games.
So if you want to jump ahead to that one, follow the pinned comment. There will be a timestamp for if you're only here for that. But we are
You're a
going to
bad
be doing
person
kind
if
of
you do.
a
Just
channel
know that.
update, talk about last year, talk about what's coming out this year, just kind of do a state of the channel, which we started doing last year and we really enjoy doing because it's fun kind of to look back on it.
Indeed. So 2023 was an absolute banner year for us. Just first of all, I want to say thank you. We are so grateful for your continued viewership. If you've been with us for a long time, if you are new to us, which we had a lot, more
of new
newer
people,
people than ever last year, welcome. We've had a lot of people who are new to the hobby, chiming in on the comments and stuff. It's been really, really fantastic. A great year with Team Bing Bong. That's y'all out there, this community. So we can go over some stats and stuff and just talk a little bit about how the last year went for us.
So we were really excited about 2023 because 2022, if you didn't see our last year's video where we did this, about halfway through 2022, we kind of like recommitted to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And
We want to do some different stuff, kind of re-infuse energy.
We had been kind of coasting for a bit. Mike had a baby. There was a lot that went on that we were kind of like, we just kind of are trying to keep our head above water.
Yeah.
And we kind of recommitted to the channel and we saw massive improvements for the second half of 2022. So we were really excited for 2023 because we're like, we're excited to like have this kind of momentum, this kind of recommitment for an entire calendar year. We want to see how much it makes a difference. It makes a big difference. It makes a really big difference. So we'll kind of go over our general stats for 2023, and then we'll kind of compare them to 2022 so you can see the massive difference. 2023, we got 3.4 million views.
That is like half the views we've ever had total in our career.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mind you, that is a lot. Wow.
3.4 million views, 454,000 hours of watch time, which is 20 years.
You can't say stuff like that. That freaks me out, man.
So people watched us for 20 whole years.
20 years worth of time.
That's an adult.
Was consumed.
Indeed. And the big one for us, at least, is we got 10,200 subscribers last year.
We've always had this like lofty goal of like, if we could ever do 10,000 subscribers in a year, which seemed impossible once upon a time, that would be amazing. We actually got there and a little bit above, a little bit above.
And again, we always grow subscribers-wise slower than it seems like we should, frankly, at least compared to like other channels that do similar things to us. And so this year was kind of like really gratifying that we kind of grew at a pace that seems more like we should be, honestly, in terms of just generally how YouTube works. So it was a really, really massive year for subscribers for us. And it was very, very cool. So in 2022, we'll kind of talk about that. 2022, we had 1.5 million views. This year we had 3.4. So it's a 126% increase in views. I mean, massive, over double, huge. Cool. We had 250,000 hours of watch time, was 81% more this year.
Wow.
And then last year, we only got 6,700 subs. This year, we got 10.2, which is 52% more.
Pretty massive,
A really, really massive increase in all of those things, which, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Just a couple other like kind of stats with the channel people were always interested. We did 151 videos.
Okay, nice.
We did 25 live streams and 154 shorts.
We had a lot of shorts.
I would have guessed we'd only done like 100. We did more shorts.
Yeah, we did a bunch.
I didn't realize we had done that many.
Because there's just so many like fun little jokes and stuff, and we appreciate anyone who's given our shorts a try. I was like making silly jokes and having like little talking points, connection points with the community.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed what shorts can provide. It's just like a quick little thing like, hey, what's your favorite kind of box size you did? And that's continually gotten engagement. Or here's this really... We have weird sense of humor. Like, here's this really weird, dumb joke that really only works for about 8 seconds. So, like, well, here's a format where you can do one thing for 8 seconds and be like, nah, all right, I'm gonna run away now.
Yeah, totally. It's like,
so the shorts have been really great.
It was interesting. The vast majority of our views, and especially our subs, still come from our videos, but it's been really fun to do shorts.
I just love the creativity you can do with it.
It's just a good way to, you have to do a lot of kind of systematic stuff when you run a YouTube channel, especially for board games. Like, you have to do top 10s, like all these things, which we enjoy doing, don't get me wrong, but it's like...
You're watching one right now.
It's been very nice to have shorts, because we kind of like, we can just do whatever we want, because it's only 36 seconds long.
It's great.
And it's kind of like whatever. So our biggest video of the years was our low rules, high strategy top 10, which did really, really well.
Over 100,000.
103,000 views in 2023, which was like really massive. Was our, I think, our second or third video that got over 100,000. We only
Ever?
have 3.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been huge. Our biggest short was the Board Games vs. Bentley short, which got
amazing.
77,000 views. Our second biggest short only got like 18, so it was a massive difference in terms of those.
Well, you did so good on that one too.
It
Check
did
that one if
pretty
you haven't
good.
seen it.
So again, I just a couple different things to like really kind of drive home how much better this year was. And again, like this is all thanks to y'all, like the new people who watch, the old people who watch. Again, it was a really big year. In 2022, our 10th most viewed video was our top 10 worker placement games got 19,000 views. That was our 10th most viewed video. This year, our 10th most viewed video was our mid-year Rapid reviews.
Yep.
And it got 44,000.
So there's 9 videos above that.
Yes.
What you're saying.
So our 10th in 2022 was 19,000. Now it's 44,000. That goes to show the difference between the 2 years in terms of views.
Yeah, we've been trying to really be selective with everything and just again, y'all getting on board with it.
It's like we have 33 videos total that are over 30,000 views. 16 of them are from this year, or I guess last year.
Yeah.
So it's half of them. It goes to show, like, again, like the kind of recommitment to our channel, what it did for us and like for our viewers and stuff. It's been really gratifying to see it. Like, oh yeah, this worked really well, and it's been so nice to see so many new people in the comments, and just
we've loved it.
So many awesome people like y'all. So thank you so much again. That's kind of a little bit of stats of just the breakdown of the numbers, because it's always interesting to kind of look, and it's something you kind of need to track because it shows how well your channel's doing, honestly.
Yeah, it's good to look back and try to understand, what things worked for you. Like things that we did last year that I think were great was the game houses have continually, the games that we're choosing and stuff to do videos for, I think are really high level.
Yeah.
We did a bunch more challenges last year, which are things that are like so fun for us to do and seemingly so joyful for the audience to watch because it's silly, it's light, they're interesting ultimately, because they're all kind of like a way to draft your board games. Like if you had this situation, what board games would you take? And
really fun.
It seems like people have gotten really into those. We've done some challenges this past year.
Yeah, there's some challenges. We finally did like a roast of people's shells we've been wanting to do for years now.
Yeah, there'll be another one coming soon.
Another one coming soon. We finally got into like Lacerda games, which is kind of like a personal hobby thing for us, but like we've got into like more heavy
journey
games.
into heavy gaming.
Also played a lot of campaign games this year, mostly because we were just hired to, but it was a really interesting year. We kind of broke out of certain bubbles for us in terms of gaming.
I think
which
was ultimately
really cool.
a good thing just as hobbyists to like just keep it interesting and try stuff and see what you're into, because so many times there were things that were like, I enjoyed that so much more than I would have ever thought had I never tried it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had already decided in my brain, I'm gonna like this game this much, and then you play it and you're like, you were completely wrong.
Yeah.
And like, why did I assign, So it's like, it's nice to kind of be humbled in that way and be like, yeah, my tastes are more varied than I give myself credit for.
Yeah. It was a good year for breaking out of our kind of our shells.
It's fun that way too.
Which was cool. Yeah, so 2023 was a really good year. Again, thank you so much for everyone who was here. It was good in every, at least from a business standpoint, good in every possible way. It was really, really great. So let's talk quickly about 2024.
We're in there now.
Stuff we got coming up. We are in here now. So the biggest thing is that we are going to be moving. We are going to be going back to our hometown of Sacramento in Northern California. Jealous. Which means our studio is going to be moving. We're actually moving into an external studio. We're in Mike's garage. We don't know that right now.
Yeah.
Breaking the fourth wall and all that. But we're going to be moving into an external studio. That's going to be a really, really big deal for us. We've kind of dreamed about this for a long time.
Well, it'd be such a cool thing to have like a place where both of us go to work.
Yeah.
Neither of us want to travel far for work, but it's nice to have it be separate from your home life and stuff. And to have a place where, it fully is for this work that we do here, for making videos for you. We want it to be 100% maximized efficiency for the purposes of making hopefully entertaining videos for y'all. So having that where we don't have to share the space, we don't have to, negotiate those things will be really cool.
Yeah, we can kind of do whatever we want. It's like we can really choose a place, make that place to work for us. Get some more space, preferably a place that we can grow, kind of almost grow into. We'll probably get a space that's probably a little too big for us right now, but we want to be able to be there for at least like 5 years minimum, right? So we're like kind of future-proofing ourselves, because we kind of always tend to outgrow our space pretty much immediately when we move into a new studio. So we're always just
find a way to fill it.
Really, really excited about that. It's going to be massive. We're also planning this year some of it's going to be with the new studio because we'll have more sets. The sets will be nicer, but we're really planning on like really upping our production quality this year. We're getting some new cameras. When we get the new studio, we're gonna have all new lighting setups. Again, because we're gonna be in a place that we can make our own, we're really gonna be able to massively up our production quality. So hopefully throughout this year, you're gonna be seeing those things implemented, and hopefully by the end of the year or by next year's,
things should look a little different.
It should be different in every single way, basically, in all good things. So
we're always trying to push for as high a quality as we can make. So we want to move into 4K because eventually, everything will be headed that direction. So we want to kind of get ahead of that.
That'll be happening this year. So hopefully you'll see a big increase in production quality. One of the things we want to do this year is do more game houses that we're choosing. We did a lot of game houses last year. We did 60 of them,
right?
But only 10 of them were ones that like we're just like, I just want to play Feast for Odin kind of thing.
Yeah, so 10 that were effectively non-sponsored.
Non-sponsored, which is a very good problem to have. Like we don't want to do less sponsored stuff. We're never, ever going to apologize for the amount of sponsored stuff on our channel. That is how we pay rent. That is how we don't get evicted. And so
this is our job. So.
This is our job. That's how we
prefer
pay rent.
to make a living.
But so we don't want to do less sponsored stuff, but we want to make sure that we're still doing like game houses and stuff that we just kind of want to show off that a publisher is not going to pay us to do, basically.
Yeah, passion projects.
So we want to make sure we're doing more of those. We're trying to work out a schedule to kind of be able to film more of the ones that we just kind of want to show off, as opposed to the ones that we get paid to show off, which very often we also want to show those ones off too. But it's like be doing that. Kind of adjacent to that is we are going to be live streaming on YouTube.
We're bringing our streaming over here to YouTube fully. So we obviously were on Twitch for a very long time, and we do like a rapid reviews live and a couple other things here. But we're going to be moving to a once a week live stream as schedules allow. Once a week live stream where we will be able to play those games.
Yes.
That are just ones that we're genuinely want to play in this moment. New game, old game, do a mix of things. And it'll kind of be like our Game House videos in terms of like high quality, but it'll have the fun chat interactive, interaction. And then you can, of course, watch the video back later and turn that live chat on so you see who we're talking to. And so it should make for a nice viewing experience.
It really should.
And a more varied, games.
And that's really what it comes down to is like game houses are very intensive in terms of how many hours they take to make. We have to play the game, learn the game, film them, edit them, film an overview, write the overview. Like it's a long process. And there's just some games that like are not going to get enough views to make that many hours worth it. Some do, but there's a lot that
folks have called for Histrio, for example. It's a classic game that we've evangelized. No one's ever going to pay us.
It'll
to
get
do
like
that.
500 views.
We could do a live stream of it though, which would be super fun, and I would love to do.
So we're especially going to use our live stream to play a lot of games that like we love, we think are really underrated, but like we love and we think are really underrated. Not necessarily everyone else does. And that way, because like the point is the live stream, not necessarily how well the video performs after the live stream. If it does perform well, great. But if it doesn't, whatever. The point was the live stream. So it's going to give us an opportunity to play some of these games that we talk about a lot, but honestly, just frankly, aren't worth us putting the hours into doing a whole game house for.
Plus, it's that great time. One of the things we love is live streaming, where you have the direct interaction with our community, which is vastly important to us. Something that was why we streamed on Twitch way back when and all the way up, for 6 years, is that chat and stuff and talking about things in the moment. People being able to ask questions about this thing. Oh, what did you do right there? Tell me more about this game. And joking about, whatever topic of the day is super fun. So we're excited to have a more direct and consistent way to directly talk to the community, because without community, what are we doing here? You know what
exactly.
I mean? That's important to us.
So a couple of things we want to come on our channel. We're bringing back Board Game Gripes. Really excited about that. It's been years since we've done one of those. We plan on doing more challenge videos. We just really enjoy doing those. They're just really, really fun for us to do.
I really want to do some collaborations with Foster the Meeple.
And a bunch of other people,
others and stuff. We have a couple things coming up, but Foster Meeple's also put interest out in doing collaborations with others, including us. So I really want to make that happen.
If you didn't watch our live stream for earlier this week, we are going to be doing, we're playing through all of the Board Game Geek Top 100 this year. At the end of the year, we'll be doing a video for that. We'll probably have some like quarterly check-ins on those. But if you haven't watched that live stream, we talk about it a little bit more over there. But we'll be playing through the entire Board Game Geek Top 100 this year. That's kind of our big challenge video for the year. And then, and then the kind of the last things are we are going to be moving to a yearly Kickstarter, and we're also going to be doing our top 100 yearly now. We did a Kickstarter a number of years back.
When we built this studio space.
And this one is kind of coinciding with our new studio, which wasn't really the plan. We had decided to do a Kickstarter anyway, and then we decided we were going to move after the fact. So it just kind of worked out that way. But there's a lot of people who want to give like once a year on something like a Kickstarter, and we just want to do a yearly one now. And so we're planning on doing that. It'll probably be in May is when we're planning it.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing our top 100 yearly, just because we really enjoy doing our top 100. It's really fun.
It's really fun to look back from
it's a ton
every
of work.
time you do it. It's a ton of work.
But it's super fun.
To see like how our tastes change over time. You know, what games are hot one year and cooler another, or cooler than you gain steam. There's a lot of fun stuff, and it'll be fun to get that data every single year. And so we'll be running our Kickstarter while we release those videos and stuff, and each of those videos will have a little push toward our Kickstarter, like, hey, support us. And then that Kickstarter is going to go to cover our business expenses for the year, mainly the rent on the new studio
like most Kickstarters do, right? Yeah, it's
travel to conventions, the same thing you see like the Dice Tower do and all that. It'll be like, this is what's going to give us, you know, the freedom to operate this business. On that kind of nuts and bolts, what do you got to pay to keep the business going front?
And we have a couple more micro games that we're going to be releasing during the Kickstarter, as well as we'll be selling our Unmatched set again. And so if you missed out, this will be another chance to buy that. But so really excited for that. Really excited to do the top 100 again, and just excited for this year again. Like last year was so good, and we're just hoping that this year is at least as good, if not better, and a lot better. That'd be great, you know.
Absolutely.
So really excited for that. Okay, anything else for the channel update, Mike?
That's it. That's enough for the channel update. Thanks for sticking with us. We're now going to don our official top 10 caps and get into the top 10 most anticipated games of the year.
Okay, you butts.
Listen.
If you skipped ahead,
which we told you is okay.
It's fine. But here's the thing. As to pay us back for skipping the rest of our video, you have to subscribe.
You have to. If you watched through our channel update and you're not subscribed, unsubscribe, resubscribe.
Boom.
But do resubscribe. Please subscribe.
Yes, we have
either
it already.
way. We need your love so bad.
We got it.
Now that we tasted that 10,000 a year, we got to have it again.
So before we get into it, we're also going to mention a couple of the games we've already played. Because we cover a lot of Kickstarters, we've actually played a lot of the games that are coming out in 2024 already. So we're going to kind of just quickly list a bunch that we've already played. Also, we're going off of when the publisher says this game will come out. Who knows if it will come out in 2024? So we also just know that.
But just to clarify, our anticipated list will be all games that we have not played and are excited to.
Indeed. So we have played Unconscious Mind, and we did enjoy it. We played Inventions, Evolutionary Ideas by Miguel Lacerda.
Slay the Spire is coming out this year. We played that and really enjoyed that.
Ezra and Nehemiah, we've already played before.
Few things. Let's see if there's any more. We're just scrolling really quickly through.
Shipwrights of the North Sea.
Shipwrights of the North Sea. Rasa Dance of Love we've played already. Tidal Blades 2, Rise of the Enfolders we played a bunch of already. So there's things like that. Basically, if you go through all of our game houses, which is a playlist, Ascendancy I just saw. If you go through that, you'll see like, a bunch of games that are listed for 2024 are there. And so again, the reason they're not on this list is we've played those. And if they're not ones we've played and they're not on the list, well, you have your answer. They're just not as anticipated for us.
Exactly. That's okay.
So, no disrespect to Wormspan.
Let's go ahead and get it. Number 10 is going to be a little micro solo game by Scott Alms called The Last Lighthouse.
The Last Lighthouse. I think it's the fourth one's a Button Shy game, so it's a micro game. I think they're called the Simply Solo series that Scott Alms has been doing.
Button Shy be doing some great solo games.
They do. I really kind of want to get all in on Button Shy.
I know, dude. Do the Jamie method, dude.
I'm scared, but I'm so excited to do it. The Last Lighthouse is a solo game where you are basically trying to protect and keep this lighthouse lit against these like nightmares that are in the deep, which is like oceany stuff is really spooky and like
thalassophobia, the fear of deep water.
Yeah, man. So like there's nightmares in the deep, and you have to set traps for them in such a way that when you trigger these traps, you're hoping to capture and repel as many of these nightmares as possible as they kind of come in trying to damage and ultimately take the light out of the lighthouse. So stuff coming up from the deep, nightmares from the depths and stuff is just like very intriguing, and I'm like, I am very excited for that. It's like a little micro solo game. Super excited to see kind of how it all plays out. But Button Shy is one in general, thanks to Jamie.
Getting more and more. Thanks to Button Shy, y'all need to pay Jamie because she be doing some evangelism for y'all.
She's making y'all money. So
really excited for The Last Lighthouse. Again, I like one thing we didn't really talk about. I think both of us in 2023 solo gamed a lot more.
We did.
I soloed a lot more stuff. So anything that's a solo thing, I'm more like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, especially if it's a nice Button Shy game where it's small and contained. There's 18 cards.
I can play it on a plane. I'm here for it.
That's it. So that's the Last Lighthouse, at number 10.
Number 9 is I was interested in the game just on the cover with Ian O'Toole's art. This is Cascadero.
It's from an up-and-coming designer, Reiner Knizia, I think it's pronounced.
Knizia?
This is another Reiner Knizia tile-laying game, which there are many, and they are great.
Yeah.
This is one where you are kind of like a lot of Knizia games, very simple turns, seemingly. You're putting out envoys, and I think you are going to create chains between towns and stuff. And as you send these envoys, if you're just a single envoy at a town, they don't trust you. They're like, I don't know who you are.
Fair.
If you come as like a larger envoy, it's like, well, this is official. Or if you have like an official seal from El Cascadero himself, you can kind of get the town's approval, which means that the town's scoring will, happen, or their little ability.
Theme.
So this game, yeah, right. So you're bumping up these tracks and stuff. I watched Monique and Naveen do a playthrough of this a while back. You're placing on these envoys, and you kind of have like that two ways to go about it. Do you build like super long chains of these envoys to kind of go for like objectives and main scoring, or do you do a bunch of kind of separate groups where you're going to have to build like a little grouping of envoys and stuff to do like timely town scorings and stuff? Like which way do you kind of balance it? But I think it's going to be dead simple where you're putting out these like envoys on a turn, and then it's all about the timing of everything, which I think will be really cool. Ian O'Toole, it's just such a beautiful cover. The art from Ian is just always so... He's in a class all his own.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So I know it's going to look great, and it's going to be one of those like Knizia Games classic where it's like it's very easy to learn.
Yeah.
There's more strategy than you think.
Yeah.
You can kind of get into it. And I want to kind of get more. We don't really have any Knizia tile laying games.
Not really, no. Yeah.
We have like Blue Lagoon and stuff.
My City is like the one we do have.
Yeah. So it's like I want to get more of them because there's so many great ones.
Yeah.
So
Knizia is outstanding, obviously.
this might be the one we do.
Yeah. All right, Cascadero is number 9. Let's go and get number 8. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
This one, Dragons. This is Dragon Eclipse.
Dragon Eclipse. We got to play. We developed a relationship with Awakened Realms this year, so we got to play a bunch of Awakened Realm games this year, and really liked them all. And so I'm getting more into like Awakened Realms kind of game. And Dragon Eclipse is, we've heard people have played it, and from what it seems like, it's very Pokemon kind of adjacent. You're like finding these like really mythical creatures. You can like tame them, you can fight them, you can get them part of your team. But what really interests me about this game, we were talking about, this is a 1 to 2 player game. That's it. So like a 1 to 2 player Awakened Realm games with like crazy cool minis and stuff. I'm just like, oh, so this seems really cool.
If it's 1 to 2 player and they make a point of that, then it's going to be a really good solo game.
Yes, yes.
And 2 player, I think maybe you're cooperative, you're working together.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be a solo game. I really do. It seems like
it's got me pretty stoked.
But I know Jeff from Foster the Meeple really liked it. I think Jamie did too. And so like,
you said big Pokemon vibes, though, which is a plus.
It's just, I don't know. I love minis. And so I'm always interested in games with really cool minis. And it just seems cool. I love Pokemon, too. I've always loved
Dragons are rad.
Dragons are cool. And again, I'm more into Awakened Realm games. And again, when you see a big game like that, that's like, no, it's a solo game or it's 1 to 2 player. I'm always just like,
excuse me?
Really? Like,
what?
You're not going to try and extend this to 7 or 8 players? Why not? Like,
we can buy multiple sets.
Yeah, exactly.
They're each
right?
$300.
So I'm really excited for Dragon Eclipse. We didn't back it, but maybe we'll be able to play a copy of it somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe
we'll be able to track down a con or something.
Because I'm very interested in it. I am very, very interested. So that's Dragon Eclipse number 8. Seems cool. Let's get number 7.
Number 7 is the 7th Citadel. I didn't, but we were unintentionally clever. The 7th Citadel, which is a follow-up to the 7th Continent, which is, at least we're going off of the 7th Continent, a big exploration game. You're flipping over these tiles of this island, and you have no idea what you're going to find. There's like fog and mist everywhere. You have amnesia. You can't remember. You're cursed by something, but you can't remember what. And it's all about exploring and diving into caves and doing these challenges. And the 7th Citadel is a follow-up, which I think is going to take all of that stuff from the 7th Continent, probably streamline maybe even more, which is 7th Continent's a pretty streamlined game in terms of mechanisms.
Yes.
And kind of bring a new thing. I have no idea really what to expect in this box.
And this Kickstarter was like 4 years ago?
We backed this Kickstarter 1,000 years ago.
So I don't remember.
It's delivering, I think, literally within the next month, is we'll finally get it. And I'm just excited because at this point I'm like, I don't remember anything about this game.
But I like 7th Continent.
But yeah, we love 7th Continent so much. And I remember at least at the time when we backed the 7th Citadel, there was a lot of excitement about like, okay, we know what 7th Continent is. We're excited by what these changes are going to be. And then again, 10,000 years have passed. The first one was also very delayed. This one's very delayed. And now it's going to be like a brand new surprise.
I know, I'm very excited about it. So
we'll see what it is.
again, I like these games, and so I've always been very impressed by Seventh Continent, and so I'm excited for Seventh Citadel. Why not? You
the
know?
mystery and discovery of like going around places. And
It
then,
is so funny. You're like, I'm gonna stick my hand in here. That didn't go well.
That was a mistake. Yeah. So I'm expecting more of the same there. And I think now you're going through like a mysterious manor or something like that.
I don't know.
It's going to be dope.
Down.
It's going to be dope.
Yeah, that's it. Number 7. Let's give it 6. Endeavor Deep Sea. I've actually gotten a. Number 6 is Endeavor Deep Sea. I just went straight into it. Endeavor Deep Sea. I got a kind of a preview. I played. I guess we played most of a game. I played with Shay at PAX.
Demo. I haven't played it at all, so that's on our anticipated
But
list.
even then, like at this point, I don't remember too much of it. But it's based off of Endeavor. But this one, you are diving down to like different depths in the sea, and you're like researching stuff. It's got the same mechanics as Endeavor, but with just a different theme and stuff like that. And I remember really, really enjoying it. And we enjoyed Endeavor mechanically. Didn't love the theme, and so
didn't love the theme, but the mechanisms of like that kind of ramp up of your actions getting super strong was very fun.
So put it into like a kind of I always enjoy exploration games. So a deep sea exploration stuff. Science-based. It was really, really fun when we played it. It also like played with 2 players, pretty darn snappy. Like our kind of preview of it wasn't super long, and we played through most of the game, if not all of it. And so, yeah, I'm just really, really excited to play this one fully.
Yeah, absolutely. Those actions kind of ramp up really well from round to round. The game isn't super long. Again, based off of like your memory of playing this version and us playing Endeavor, like it builds up quickly. It's really satisfying, the things you can get done, the way you can kind of branch off in your different directions by you're kind of being a specialist in this area and I'm kind of focused on this thing, gives you lots of stuff to explore.
Yeah,
so
and you're
can't wait.
It's just cool. Yeah, you're constantly upgrading your actions and getting better and better and better. It's just very, very cool.
Cannot wait for it. It's so good.
That's number 6, Endeavor Deep Sea. Let's get number 5. Number 5, I actually got to see a Dice Tower West, and this is Gnome Hollow.
Gnome Hollow is a game that literally, Nick came back from Dice Tower West, like there's this game, there's magnets in it, it looks super cool, and every publisher is excited for it.
Yeah.
And the op is going to be bringing it kind of to the widespread audience, but this is a game where you're moving gnomes around and putting out like mushrooms and stuff. It's kind of like there's a hit thing right now where nature has been in vogue for a while.
Yes,
it's been more like anthropomorphized
animals. It's moving to like fantastical nature.
Fantastical nature now, where there's like gnomes, it's all mushrooms and kind of wonderful.
Mushrooms are the thing right now.
And the art in Gnome Hall is all these like individual like watercolor paintings, so it's just like super whimsical and wonderful looking. But you're kind of building out these tiles and stuff, and then moving gnomes to take actions.
Yeah.
And it's got this cool kind of like your player board's magnetized, so you can like your pieces don't go anywhere if it gets rattled around.
So instead of being a dual layer board, it's a kind of a magnet board. It kind of functions the same way, but it's kind of nice because you can't. It's a lot harder to just smack stuff and have everything fly everywhere. So it's really cool. I mean, again, I talked to a bunch of different people who had played it, and they were just like, it's incredible, it's incredible, it's incredible. Yeah. And then I'm glad the op landed it. That's very, very cool for them and the designer, who was a very nice person. And so, I'm really excited for Gnome Hollow. It's going to be really good.
Me too. I think it's going to be a perfect mix of like fun, easy enough to get into, absolutely stunningly gorgeous in a kind of approachable, light-hearted way.
And pop this bad boy in Targets and Walmarts and stuff, because this I think would go.
Yeah, and the op is really pushing into like proper hobby games and like helping bring them to a wide audience, which is really exciting to see. So I'm super glad that they got this game because it's going to get out to a lot of people. It really looks so beautiful.
It looks really good.
I want it in my life.
It looks really, really good. So I cannot wait. I think we're covering that one this year, hopefully. So I'm really excited for that one. It's gonna be great. It's number 5. Let's get number 4.
Number 4 is Galactic Cruise.
For the second we saw this cover, we were like,
well, that's Ian for you. So what
are you gonna do? Tool for you,
Galactic Cruise is a game where you're the first company that's offering extended stays in space and stuff.
You're flossing paradise.
Yes, you're putting on a luxury cruise. Yeah,
it's going full Fifth Element. Is it different at all?
No, it's not.
God, I want a Fifth Element game.
And you are kind of managing your workforce, building developments, kind of building out more action spaces to go to, developing technologies, onboarding new workers and stuff. What I've heard is people are saying like it's got some Kanban vibes.
It's
because it's kind of like you're working. You need to do blueprints and stuff. There's kind of like the logistics of like building out.
The designers are big. I got to preview this. I didn't get a chance to play it, but they kind of explained it to us at Gen Con.
We are covering this real soon.
Yeah, we'll be covering this one very soon. Very excited to play it. But I did get like a bit of a preview. They kind of explained the game, and they're very influenced by Lacerda, Vital Lacerda, and
it's
this
gonna be a big,
shows
chunky
in the game.
game.
It's going to be a big, chunky game. But yeah, you're like going off on cruises and sending people out, and like when you launch these things like really matters, and it's got the kind of like you put people out but then recall them, and you're getting like bonuses when you do so. It seemed really, really cool. Our friend Estelios, who we have similar taste in like heavy Euros with, I think got to play it at PAX and loved it. So I'm like, okay, if they like
That's
it,
got me excited.
that makes me even more excited. So yeah, I'm so excited for Galactic Cruise. Oh, I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. We are covering it on the channel real soon.
Soon,
here.
probably the next month or two. Yeah,
and I'm very excited to try it. We're actually going to be doing a demo on TTS here soon, so I cannot wait to get to it. Galactic Cruise, I think, is going to be that chunky, like
hunky.
Any game that's coming up here from this upward is like potential game of the year candidates just off of looks alone, vibes alone. So
Vibes alone,
that's number
baby.
4, Galactic Cruise.
Number 3 is a game we talked about, I think, a couple anticipated lists at this point. This is Pampero. Pampero, oh man.
I'm still super excited.
Also looks kind of like a giant Lacerda game, even though it's not.
Right. Again,
Eno
Eno
Tool,
Tool.
you
So
know?
it's like, Eno Tool, the king of heavy Euros.
Do you draw in your sleep?
Yes,
like,
yes,
Eno Tool, how do you draw this much?
It's mechanized like Doc Ock. He's got mechanical
Both
arms
feet
that do
drawing,
it.
you know? Yeah, my gosh.
Pampero is based on like the real story in Uruguay,
Yeah.
Uruguay is not rich in natural resources.
Landlocked, I think. City,
Landlocked,
yeah.
they don't have access to fossil fuels. And so in a world that is trying desperately, please God, if we can ever get past fossil fuels, that'd be great.
Yeah, right.
Uruguay realized that like, it's going to be much better to try to harness other forms of energy and get them out to the rural areas and stuff like that. So, a lot of wind, I think some geothermal, different types of, renewable natural energy that can be harnessed and stuff, and kind of building out that network for the country. And this game is about that. So you are trying to build out, and there's kind of that idea of like the shared infrastructure where we're all kind of on the same map, and we're trying to, I want to supply stuff out to the farms, maybe you have the farm and things like that. So there's this kind of like seemingly positive player interaction where we're all going to get a little something out of this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of card driven. You have these action cards you're playing out. And I believe what it is, like the more cards you play, costs get cheaper for you, but then also on your turn, you're more limited because you have fewer action cards to select from. So eventually you're going to have to pull all those cards back. So now the cost for everything goes way up, but you have more kind of freedom of action selection.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a really juicy thing to play with. The game just looks big and beautiful.
It looks so nice.
And a really cool story. You
Yeah,
know?
a
It's
really
like,
cool theme.
And the fact that it's like, this is what this country is doing. And I'm like, that is awesome to celebrate that and learn.
Yeah, it's really like
you can learn in the game is great.
It's a three-headed monster. It looks really nice. Yeah. It's got a cool theme, and the gameplay seems awesome. I'm like, oh man, that looks real good.
Yeah.
That looks real good.
Very
so
excited.
Pampero's number 3, super excited about that one. Let's get number 2 and number 1. I feel like they got a bit of separation. They got a bit of separation. I'm not gonna lie. So let's go get number 2. Number 2, especially in the last week or so, Mike is like losing his mind.
I'm
over,
consuming so much content about it, bro. I can't. This is Sancore, the pride of Mansa
Musa.
Musa. Shouts out to Tool. I realize I'm very drawn to Ian's art. That's
Ian
not
out
news.
here. Ian out here.
Sancore is another game. It's a co-design. I can't remember the other designer. I apologize, but Fabio Lopiano, who always does really interesting action selection, did Murph most recently for Osprey Games, and now Sancore, which looks artistically very similar, same artist and all, in a similar part of the world. And this is a theme that we're really into lately. The next game will have a similar thing. It's all about like pursuit of knowledge.
Yes.
And growing in, just trying to learn and stuff. So this is a game where you're running a school and you are trying to enroll students, teach them classes in like mathematics, theology, law, and a fourth subject, PE. And
dodgeball.
And you are going through and moving these students up, and these will give you actions you can do. So if you're teaching an astronomy class, astronomy is the last one.
All right, makes sense.
Astronomy, it'll go to a certain part of the board, and there's kind of 4 main sections that you are going for. This game has like a bunch of ways to like trigger combos because you can get like skills. So every time you're doing a law class, you can do all of your skills. If this thing triggers, you can exchange favor. You're building things out into those 4 regions, which make your like classes stronger. Because if I built out a bunch of these pieces in the astronomy area, I think trading posts, when I go to take that class, there's more knowledge coming from this class, and there's also shared knowledge because as people enroll students, the shared knowledge of all of us is growing, which makes your actions stronger and stronger. So this game is going to have a wonderful ramp up. It has an awesome thing where you're gaining these prestige tokens in those 4 areas, but you don't know what they're worth yet.
Yeah.
And certain ones at the end of the game are going to be more valuable. So you could have a thing where like each law prestige that you have is worth 4 points, and all of your points come from that.
Yeah.
So if you've invested in the right areas and kind of help drive the value there, it can be super cool. So this is the one where the way you can chain stuff together, it's going to be big, heavy, crunchy. And it's so staggeringly beautiful.
Yes. My gosh.
Yeah.
Because Murph is maybe the prettiest game ever made.
And then this is like Murph on crack.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's insane.
And it's about like learning and stuff. I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah, you are really. It
fired up
probably
about
could have been our number 1.
I can't stop talking to Nick about it. He's
He
just
really
like,
can.
I don't know.
He talks to me all the time.
It's like, I haven't watched all the videos you've watched. I'm like, well, I have watched them all.
Yeah.
So excited.
So number 2, we're that excited for that. Number 1, we're maybe not quite as excited. It seems like, man, Mikey is so excited. Sorry.
No, I'm really excited for this one.
Really excited for number 1. Let's go and get into it. Number 1, if you know anything about us, is probably not all that surprising. This is Inventors of the South Tigris.
We're Garfield Games fans, it's fair to say.
It's good. Garfield Games is so good. Gosh.
Yeah.
So
they are on fire.
Inventors of the South Tigris is the third in the trilogy of the South Tigris trilogy, which is astonishing. It's almost done
How are
already.
we at the end of this trilogy already?
I know. But this one is the third after Wayfarers of the South Tigris and Scholars of the South Tigris, and now
both certified
Inventors.
bangers.
We will be covering this game soon here. This one is, as we talked about, Mikey said, like, the South Tigris series has all been about this pursuit of knowledge, and Inventors is continuing that, where you are like these 3 brothers who are just inventing all of this stuff. Some of it really useful, some of it really not useful.
Like random gizmos and things,
just
all
this
sorts
stuff.
of...
Yeah, and it's got kind of like a, talking about Lacerda earlier, it's just like, it's got these kind of shared infrastructure where like Mike might think of something, but then I can then work on it or release it and things like that. And I really enjoy shared infrastructure games. But this is like, I mean, the South Tigris series has been so good, and this one just seems like it might be the best one of them. And that says a lot.
It's also, I think, you know,
it's also
per them, the biggest and heaviest game.
And I'm kind of like, really? Yeah. I can just,
But I love the idea of like, you come up with an idea, then I actually invent that thing, and you have this great kind of way of, you're going to have a certain gizmo, and then basically an adjective that gets attached to it. So every game is going to be kind of like wacky, the types of things that you're building and stuff. It's going to be all put into a very robust, heavy Euro game.
Oh my gosh, it just looks so good. We talked about during their kind of Garfield Games talked about all the games that are coming out every year. They do a live stream for it, and it just looks so good. And again, like my 2 favorite Garfield games at this point are probably Wayfarers is number 1, Scholars is probably number 2. So like,
hard to argue otherwise.
I mean, at this point, like the South Tigris series has been so incredible, and then this just sounds like it's just so cool. And the fact that like it's super heavy, and I'm like, oh really? Let's go.
I'm excited.
And just, I'm really excited for this one. I am so excited for this last one. Like I said, number 1 and number 2 are kind of heads and tails above the rest. We're excited for the whole list.
And that's not a diss. I mean, all of these are really exciting, but these last 2 are like, I'm so insanely fired up for them.
Yeah, so that is our top 10 most anticipated games of the year. Hopefully all these turn out to be great. I have pretty good feelings about all of them. That'll be really, really nice. But nonetheless, let us know down in the comments below what your most anticipated games of the year are. Any ones that you'd like to see us cover, let us know, and hopefully we will. And yeah, we're just really excited. It should be a really great year for games, and hopefully a really great year for the Brothers Murph. You know, and
that's the hope. It's going to be really exciting, y'all. We will document the entire process of us moving, doing, you know, talking about how we build out that new studio. Definitely stick around for more, and we have a ton of fun, zany, crazy videos coming out.
A couple of them are real dumb.
There's a lot of, we are super excited to always lean into things that are just like fun and silly, because like, what are we here for if not to have a good time and keep it light? Stay tuned for much more. Let us know in the comments your most anticipated games that you hear are coming out this year, that might be crowdfunding, whatever it might be. Get after those in the comments, because there's many more games than we talked about here, and there's probably ones we haven't even heard about yet. So let us know in the comments what those are.
All right, until next time, I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
We're the Brothers Murph. We'll see you later, everybody.
Bye.
thank you so much for watching that channel update / top 10. We really appreciate y'all watching our stuff. It means the world to us. We want to give a big shout out to our channel sponsors, Restoration Games, Lucky Duck Games, and Board Game Geek. Make sure to check out their stuff in the description below. Love y'all to death. We'll see you later.